오늘은 페미 시절을 후회하는 미국 여자들, 그러나 이미 늦었다는 미국 남자들이라는 주제로 영상을 준비했습니다.
Men are now at a point to where they're walking away and they don't mind being alone. Y'all have messed it up. Women, a lot of us have messed it up. And like I said, even surprisingly to me, like I was noticing and seeing so many men, like I desire family, I desire commitment, I desire marriage, I desire to have a woman, I want to provide for a woman, take care of a family. Like men have been wanting that. But now you're starting to see more and more men become more and more comfortable with the idea of not having any of that, because men are valuing and desiring their peace over everything else.
She's absolutely right. And it's so sad that that's the point that men have had to come to, where they are unable to engage in relationships and pursuing what they want, whether it be marriage and children, or they've at least had to abandon that ideal, the desire to have that, because it's just not worth it. And on the flip side, I have to say good for them for putting their peace first, because you shouldn't have to compromise on your inner peace, your inner comfortability with your existence, just to have more people in your life. It's not worth it.
그렇죠. 이 시대의 남자들은 내면의 평화를 찾을 기회가 없었죠. 페미니즘의 광기 속에서 여자들이 남자들에게 요구하는 기준은 점점 높아져만 가고 남자에게는 대가로 주어지는 게 없는데 어떻게 내면의 평화를 찾을 수 있을까요? 게다가 요즘은 이 여자가 나를 진심으로 사랑하는지도 의심해봐야 하는 상황이 되었잖아요. 이럴 바에야 차라리 내 인생에 집중하는 것도 방법이 될 수 있겠죠.
Peace is so important. So, I understand why we've got into this situation, but I'm still really sad about it, because it does mean that the sexes are further apart. People aren't going to come together anymore because there's that lack of trust. Men aren't trusting women because why should they? Because of the women that have messed up, because of the women that have caused us to get to this point where we are. And it's really sad, because it just means that so many people's lives are being wasted having to weigh up what's more important, having a family or having peace. And that shouldn't even be a thing. The two should be going hand in hand. You should be able to find peace in your family. Obviously not all the time, right? Let's be realistic here. But you should be able to have peace of mind, at least, within your family unit and your family structure, and be happy that you've made the choice.
네, 슬프게도 원래 결혼은 남자와 여자 모두 마음의 평화를 찾기 위한 방법론 중 하나였죠. 그런데 지금은 한국 남성으로서 한국 여자와 결혼하는 것은 평화를 얻는 것이라고 생각하지 않습니다. 서구 여성들이 페미니즘으로 남자들의 신뢰를 잃었듯 한국 여자들도 페미니즘으로 인해 한국 남자들에게서 신뢰를 잃었고 이제 그들과 결혼할 가치가 없어진 거죠.
To have a wife and children. It's disgusting and devastating that unfortunately now peace and family no longer are one and the same. And that's really, really sad.
While it lasts.
Making these good men not want to be good men. I don't need no man. I can do it all by myself. Can you? Can you? I mean, I know physically I can take care of myself. I've been on my own since I was 17. Do I want to take care of myself all the time? No. Do I want to be independent all the time? No, I don't. Do I want to take care of somebody? Yes, I do. Do I want to make sure dinner is cooked and laundry is done and contributing to the household and taking care of the kids? Yes. Yes, I do. And then we got all you waffles out here ruining good men. They don't want to be good men because of feminists.
Yeah, because of feminists, because of damaged individuals, because of women who have no self-awareness whatsoever, and they think that they can go around treating men like objects. It's funny because it's the same women that preach about not wanting to be objectified that objectify men. They objectify men down to what can you provide for me?
그렇죠. 이게 현대 여자들의 가장 큰 아이러니죠. 자신이 성적으로 대상화되는 건 싫어하면서 자신의 파트너는 돈 나오는 ATM으로 치부하는 거예요. 페미니즘이 추동한 이러한 이중잣대로 인해 한국에서도 남자와 여자의 사이가 멀어졌고 불신과 반목이 지속되고 있는데도 여자들은 남자 탓만 하고 있는 겁니다. 어이가 없죠.
What monetary gain do you add to my life? What are you bringing me? And often it's money. Otherwise it might be status. And they just treat men like objects. What are you bringing to me? They don't understand that a relationship is a two-way street. They don't understand that they have to be able to offer something too. They don't understand that. So they treat men like objects. They abuse men, quite frankly. Treat them like, oh, well, you just need to get on with it because you're a man. Treat them awfully, and then just run around onto the next one. And slowly but surely, they're just destroying the pool of genuine good men who want to protect and provide because they have no self-awareness, or perhaps they do and they're just complete psychopaths and they don't care. They don't care who they destroy in their journey of chaos.
I don't like finding out that a guy doesn't like me anymore, that he's like over me. What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean you're over me? Like you've moved on? That's not how this works. That's not how this works, okay? I was supposed to go my whole life knowing in the back of my mind that you still like me, okay? I was supposed to think that every time I saw you, your heart did a little pitter-patter, okay? Now you've moved on? What does that mean? That's not possible. I don't understand.
The narcissism here is off the scale. Now, I don't know if she's being satirical. And do you know what? I think I've seen enough TikToks now of these type of women to know that she's not. I think part of my brain just wants to think like, maybe she's like making a joke here. Like maybe she knows how ridiculous she sounds. She's just making a joke about it, because I kind of want to believe that. I kind of want to believe that it isn't as bad as this. But unfortunately, the realistic, logical part of my brain knows that she's not joking at all. She's not joking at all. Women genuinely have objectified and tokenized men like this to the point of, you know, they're just like collectibles, and I'm going to collect these up, and they're going to fuel to my ego and fuel to making me feel good about myself. And I am just this radiant flower that walks the earth, and men just have to bow down to it.
다른 분들도 이러한 경험이 있는지 모르겠지만 여자들은 자기 어장에 있던 남자가 다른 여자와 사귄다는 소식을 들으면 분노하는 경향이 있는 것 같습니다. 왜 그런 건지 모르겠지만 여자들의 자아가 비대해서 그런가. 아무튼 이런 경우가 많아요. 남자들이 주는 공짜 관심이 너무 좋은 거겠죠. 20대 때 이런 환대에 길들여지다 보니 늙어서도 자아가 비대해지고 결혼을 못하는 거겠죠.
This is gynocentrism manifest right here. This is extreme feminism and what decades of that has done to the female mind, and how it has poisoned the female personality and inflated the female ego to the point where it believes it is genuinely God. It believes it is God and that it is to be worshipped. And it's really, really scary. It's really, really scary. It's really, really sad. It's not going to do anyone any favors. You know, it's destroying men, but at least men are wise enough to say, I'm not going to get involved with that and cut it out of their lives. But these women are destroying themselves inadvertently without even realizing it, because they're the ones who are going to be alone. They're the ones who are going to be upset as to why they don't have loving people around them. They're the ones that are, you know, the reason why people are investing in wine and cat food. You know, they are shooting themselves in the foot. And they don't even realize it, because they are in this inflated, God-like, you know, complex ego that just can't believe it can do any wrong. And that's why I don't blame men for checking out, because what can you do with that? If someone doesn't have the awareness to understand that they are not perfect and that they have flaws, there is no wiggle room there. There's nothing to work with. So why should men try and work with that? A relationship is a two-way street, and you need to be able to have two participating individuals. A relationship is not a worship. It is not a, you know, godlike interaction. It doesn't work like that. And if that is the paradigm from the get-go, no, you shouldn't have to force your way through that to try and see if something good can grow out of it. It's never going to. It's never going to work with these types of women.
Did you wake up and realize that you no longer wanted to be a strong?
She pretty much talks about like coming to the realization that she no longer wants to be a strong, independent Black woman. I will have to say that it's just now hitting me. I just turned 33, and I will say, I think it's this year that it's really hit me that I do not want the title of a strong, independent Black woman.
And again, this is feminism. This is women being lied to. This is women being sold an idea, because funnily enough, it all makes sense. Let's bring in gynocentrism. Let's bring in feminism. Let's put women at the top of the pedestal, at the top of society. Let's mute and emasculate the men. Why? because women are easier to manipulate. So women have eaten all of this up because we are more agreeable. We are easier to manipulate.
사실 이게 정말 맞는 말이죠. 여자들이 열등하다는 건 아니지만 여러 심리학 연구에서 밝혀졌듯 여자가 남자보다 감정적이라는 것은 엄연한 사실입니다. 물론 여자들의 감정이 사회에 긍정적 영향을 미치는 경우도 있겠지만 사회에 악영향을 불러오는 경우가 많죠. 왜 악영향을 불러오냐면 여자들의 집단적 합의는 감정적으로 조종당해져 내려지는 경우가 많기 때문입니다.
So of course we're going to eat it up. And it's all of these women going around, they're being sold a lie. They're being sold fulfillment in the box of being a boss babe. And then it's all coming crumbling down as all lies do. They don't keep up. The truth will always prevail. It will always come out. And clearly these women are realizing that the truth will set them free and they are tuning into it. But what's unfortunate is it too late? That woman is 33 years old. The best years of her life, the best chance she has of genuinely finding the type of man that she wants and building the kind of life that she wants. It is very possible that that is past her. And that is the harsh reality of this world and being a female in this world. And if you don't get to grips with it early, you're going to lose the race. And that is just the truth. And I'm saying that and I say this to my female friends, I'm saying this from a place of caring. I'm not saying it to dampen you. I'm not saying it to make you feel bad. I'm saying it because I care. I want you to wake up. I want you to live this life to the fullest. But part of living this life to the fullest is understanding the laws of the world. In the same way you don't jump out the window because you understand the laws of physics means that you're going to fall and crash and splat on the ground. This is the same thing. You need to understand the laws of female nature. And the laws of female nature are you have a set window. You have a set window to get to work. And if you don't, someone else will. And unfortunately, that's the animal kingdom, right? Survival of the fittest. That's why I do this stuff.
한국 여자들은 중력을 거스르려고 하는 게 문제죠. 30대 여자들이 항상 커뮤니티에 올리는 글 보면 가관이잖아요. 30대 중반인데 이미 늦은 건 아니죠. 뭐 이런 류의 질문들 있죠. 본인이 늦었다는 걸 알면서 늦지 않았다는 위안을 얻기 위해 20대 때처럼 모든 사람들이 자신에게 동의해 줄 거라고 생각해서 그러는 거죠. 현실 파악이 안 되는 여자들은 더 나아가서 노산에 대한 개념까지 바꾸려고 하고 있죠. 아줌마 노산 나이를 당신들이 원하는 나이로 바꿀 수는 없다고요.
Crazy, I can finally say for myself, I don't want a relationship anymore. I'm happy being alone. I'm okay with coming back home to myself every day, going to work every day. I ain't losing sleep, staying up on the phone with nobody. I ain't got to worry about providing for a female because some of y'all females ain't worth providing for. Because you don't give back to the man that's working his ass off to pay the bills or give you what the fuck you want. While you getting your nails done, he's cutting his fucking hands, getting calloused and shit on them. You know what I mean? It makes no sense because you gotta be worthy of a good man. You gotta be worthy of someone who's willing to break his fucking back to give you everything he never had. Okay? So, I'm content with being alone. It's fucking crazy how some of y'all strive and kill yourselves over relationships that are not worth it. Don't do it to yourself. It's not fucking worth it.
가치가 없죠. 블라인드 같은 곳 보면 여자들이 자신이 원하는 남자 기준을 늘어놓고 무슨 줄자대듯 남자들을 평가절하하죠. 그런 여자들한테 하고 싶은 말은 그런 남자는 당신을 원하지 않는다는 겁니다. 내가 왜 당신을 위해서 그걸 해야 되냐고요. 당신은 그런 남자를 가질 자격이 없다니까요. 그걸 요구할 자격이 없다니까요. 그리고 당신을 위해서 그걸 할 가치가 없다니까요. 망상에서 깨어나야 돼요.
Find yourself first. That's all that matters.
He's absolutely right. And the caption there was spot on. There are so many men that feel this way. There are so many men that feel this way. And women aren't talking about it. Women don't care. They don't care. And I can't understand how women can't see how detrimental this is for us. For us. Because we are only cheating ourselves. You know, 10, 20, 30 years down the line, I'm telling you, this is going to blow up on a scale that you can't even imagine. There are going to be so many miserable, lonely people. I don't even want to predict the stats because I don't want to put it out there. But if this carries on, things are going to get really, really bad for us as a species. Really, really bad. Wake up. Forever is a long time. What are you going to do? Oh, I'll buy myself this and I'll do that and I'll just freeze my eggs. Oh, that's the one I heard all the time on podcasts. I'll freeze my eggs and it'll all work out fine. Oh, we're going to have some really interesting interviews coming out in like 20, 30 years. I'll tell you that. You know, the world might be crumbling, but there's going to be some great TV.
The key for a man is self-control. For a man, your body sometimes speaks against you. It will crave, pleasure all the time. Your key to successful mental health is complete and utter self-control. Control what you consume. You don't watch everything. You don't go into every desire. You control who you put yourself into. Now, when a man practices self-control, he becomes such an unshakable being, because none of his friends can make him drink alcohol if he doesn't want it. No woman can make him spend money on her if he doesn't want to. He becomes indispensable as a man. So self-control, I really believe, is the root of a man's self-esteem.
And that's what men are doing. Men are taking back their self-control. They're not falling for these games anymore. They're choosing peace over chaos. They are looking at what's in front of them and they're saying, no, I'm not going to engage in that. I'm not going to let you use and abuse me and rinse me for all I have, because I actually have self-worth. I have self-value and I'm all for it.
한국 남자로서 이야기하면 국제 결혼이나 더 나은 미래를 위해 잠깐 내 욕구를 참는 건 딱히 어렵진 않아요. 한국 여자들이 대단히 섹시하거나 그런 게 아니기 때문에 그냥 무시하고 살면 됩니다. 우리의 진정한 평화를 위해 잠깐 참고 사는 거죠.
Why do women regret leaving this type of guy? I'm about to tell you in this video. First off, it took them a while to commit to begin with. Then when they finally do commit and they're settled and they're in a relationship, when a woman decides to either end the relationship, they cheat, or they do something that betrays this type of man's trust. Essentially, when you hurt this type of guy, ladies, there is no coming back from that. It's almost an impossibility.
I'm not gonna lie, she hit the nail right on the head. A lot of women realize that they got a good man, but that's just not enough. I'm almost convinced that a lot of women out there don't want a good man. They want somebody that's toxic or somebody that got a little toxic in them. That's why.
Yeah, dude, you're right. You're absolutely right. And the problem is everything. So let's not take away from accountability of an individual. I'm going to come back to that. But the problem is society as a whole and feminism and the whole idea of instant gratification. It all started with the advancement of technology. You used to have to write bloody letters to people. You used to have to be able to have some kind of delayed gratification, because you might have to wait a week for, a letter to come through in a message in a bottle on a ship or whatever. And then, we've got instant messaging, we've got instant food at our door, we've got instant access to dopamine on our phones in front of us. Everything's instant. We get this addiction to dopamine. Now, what's going to create that addiction? It's the highs and lows. How do algorithms keep you hooked? They keep you hooked because they show you boring video, but just before your brain gets bored enough to check out, they show you something great. It sends your dopamine up. And that is why women love toxic guys, because the toxic guys keep them just at arm's length enough to give them enough dopamine to keep them hooked.
도파민 중독 때문에 여자들이 해로운 남자를 원한다는 주장이 완전 틀린 건 아니지만 제 생각은 좀 다르긴 해요. 저는 여자들이 본성적으로 좋은 남자를 경멸하고 해로운 남자를 존경한다고 생각합니다. 다음 영상 주제로 여자가 남자를 판단하는 기준을 살펴보려고 하는데 호메스 영상을 토대로 이를 살펴볼 겁니다. 그냥 여자들은 자신보다 강하고 어느 정도 위험한 남자를 원하는 게 그 본성이라고 봅니다. 좋은 남자를 원한다는 건 가식이고요. 오늘은 미국 여자들이 페미 시절을 후회하는 이유와 이에 대한 미국 남자들의 대답을 알아봤습니다. 지금까지 이등 시민이었습니다. 영상 마음에 드셨다면 좋아요와 구독 부탁드리겠습니다.